Hello, I'm on time. Here we are again. It's 11 p.m. Whether it is here. A person's in, Egasis is in, Andrew's in, and yeah, and that's it. How's my groove been? Very much as it was earlier today. Steady, productive. Yeah, productive, I think, is probably a good description of the day. Here comes a hot beverage. Thank you. Thank you very much. Just go away. I don't know what anyone wants to talk about. What does anyone want to talk about? Since it's the old faithful in. You know? Has anyone got any topics they want to discuss? Or should we just talk about World War III and everything that's going on there? No? Okay. Anyone? It's going to be a quick one. If no one wants to play, it's going to be a quick one. Oh dear. Whew. Just got in from the walk. In from the dog walk. La 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 la. It is quiet. Does anyone want to talk? Anyone? Renee's in. Oh, thank God for that. No, I'm not early. I'm on time. I was here at 11. It was due to start. I died at 15:15, but I deleted it and started again because it all depends when the kids go to bed and and the dog walk. But I got out on time, so I changed it to 11, not 11:15. Sorry. Oops, my mistake. Everyone's expecting 11:15. I got and done a boo-boo. So I suppose I am early. I suppose I am, really. Maybe I am. Maybe I scared everybody off. 12 people in there, so there must be some more people who wants to play. Come on, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Oh, we could talk about, what's his name? From Procol Harum died, didn't he? Brooker. Wow, limited monetization already. Really? Why would there be limited monetization on the stream when we're just having a chat? Oh, YouTube, you're so weird. Why are you so weird, YouTube? Oh, YouTube's weird. It's such a weird place. Ain't it just? Should we try and run an ad anyway? Payne's in. Evening. He is the only Payne. There is no other Payne now. Got rid of all the Paynes. Just the one Payne. And no pains in my feet. That's good. I had a rotten weekend. All my feet. Oh, foot watch. That's what we need. Hashtag foot watch. Someone says, is it going this evening? I think it's going. Is it working at your end? Andrew says, hi, I've been to the Oxfam shop and found some Jethro Tull albums. In mint condition, they hardly ever turn up. Hopefully you got them for a good price because the charity shops around here charge eBay prices, so I don't bother looking. eBay prices on vinyl, really? I'd just go to eBay, couldn't I? And then the man brings it to me, and I don't have to be with all those dirty people in the Oxfam shop, being eyed up by the little old ladies. You know. Oh, no, I'm not going to steal. I'm not going to steal that moth-eaten old coat. No. Everything's fine. Payne says, Darren, ever heard of Animal Collective? Very music for 15 hours, as you say. Think you'd love them. Animal Collective. Oh, what's that other one that's got animals in the title? Oh, God, there was another one called Animal something. Oh, I don't know. Let me see. Animal Collective. I'm getting confused if it's... they're a pop band. I'm not familiar with them. There's another one. There's another one called Animals as Leaders. That's it. Animals as Leaders. You see why I get confused. Very confused. Rana says, good video about ScrewTube. YouTube. Well, it's just... Rob Payne says, that's not me. Well, who is it then? I think it's you, isn't it? What, there's two... okay, Robert, which one is... Huh? Which one's not you? Can the real Robert Payne say... Comment on a tweet that you've liked, and I'll block the other one. Say something that I've recently tweeted. I know. I will send you a message. I will DM you. I will give you a code word, and I will magically... Because we can do that. Because we tweet each other, don't we? So, real Payne, don't run away. And I'm just gonna DM you, right? I'm going to give you a code word. The code word is... I want you to type this code word, right? And then I'll block the other one. Mind you, I don't know which one's which. Say the code word, but say something that identifies the other one, i.e. something that they've mentioned. Yeah. The time that they appeared, the timestamp of when they appeared, and I'll block them. Have you got that? Have you got that? Mr. Payne? Anyone? This is getting weird, isn't it? Andrew says, yes, I did. Heavy Horses. Oh, that's good. I don't mind that one, actually. Some nice tracks on that. It's not a bad one. Yes, yeah, so say the code word and the time that they said their first post. Does that make sense? Yeah. Then we'll root them out. Unless, of course, you're the one who's impersonating Robert. Inkelstein says animals as leaders. Yeah, I said that. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Thank you. Consider yourself removed. Got you. Okay, well that was weird, wasn't it? That was weird. Sorry about that, Robert. Why would somebody want to do that? Oh, I know. Because I've got a few weirdos after me on social media, so they're going to start playing mind games with me, which is going to be fun. Oh, great. Oh, you see, I don't care. You know, I'll just have to stop doing this if we're going to have weirdos. You know. But I'm sorry about it, Robert. But yeah, if anyone out there is suddenly impersonated by someone, please, contact me via... This is why you got to follow me on Twitter, because then you can DM me on Twitter, You know what I'm saying? Or on the... no, not on the other one. Mainly on Twitter. Or even privately email me. We need a secret code. We need a special handshake. That's what we need. And that will wheedle out the weirdos, won't it? See... If you leave another message, then you won't disappear. Hopefully. That's the first time we've had that happen, so that's interesting. Jack says, Walsh is in, was on my holidays last week, trip to London, was tempted to call up to you. Oh, be careful. Look, I don't even want to visit me, so I don't know what you want to do that for. Paul says, hello, I've just discovered Osric Tentacles. I know I'm 40 odd years late to the party. What do I think of them? Space rock. Don't really care. Andrew says, the only problem is after all, Ian Anderson's voice gets a bit boring. Well, that's the problem with Ian Anderson, is he's not the greatest singer in the world. And this goes back to me saying I still don't understand how they're as popular as they are. They're not. He's not a great vocalist. He's not Peter Gabriel or a John Anderson, is he? He's not a Peter Hamill. He's Ian Anderson. And I can understand the shtick with the flute and the standing on one leg. He's a good showman. But a vocalist? Yeah. And by Heavy Horses, his voice is starting to, crack a bit. It's quite noticeable on that album. From Tales from the Wood. That's the previous one, yeah. It's that one where you start to hear his voice cracking. Just going. And it's a shame because there's some nice songs like Moths. I quite like that one, and Heavy Horses as well. I quite like those songs. I like the spirit of the album. About the bygone days and how maybe we should preserve them because one day we might need them. And I like that idea. Oh, that's weird. Oh, sorry, Robert. Oh. Well, that was weird, Robert. So you might want to change your profile picture. Keep them on their toes. So that's another thing you could do. Oh boy. How about the band Animal Logic? Oh God, is it all animals? We're just doing animals tonight. I don't know them either. Anyway, see you on Twitch then. Unless I've blocked the wrong one. Jack says, favourite tube station? Waterloo and City Line. Renee says, have you pre-ordered Marillion's new album? No, I'll just stream it, thanks. I've pre-ordered the Oliver Tree album on vinyl, so I'm waiting for that to come out. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think I'm. I don't know, Marillion. I don't know. They haven't done a decent album in ages, have they? Really? Don't forget the animals. There was a house in New Orleans. They called the rising sun. There was a pub near my neck of the woods called the Rising Sun, and of course, whenever I hear that album, I always think that pub. Mr. Orange says Otis Redding, Jeff Buckley, and Bob Dylan are in my top 10 male vocalists. First three that came to my head. Well, you have a list. That's nice. I don't. Oh, it's a bit of a quiet one tonight. Oh, up to 29. Come on, we can do it. Sometimes I think I come on a bit too early. I think people are probably expecting me on at 15:15. But like I said, kids went to bed a bit early and dog walk went a bit quicker, so I got here a bit earlier. So there we go. How did my birthday go? It came as quickly as it went. Did I have a part in a cake? No, God, I'm 51 years old. No cake. I'm type 2 diabetic, man. I just had a carrot. That was it. A carrot. Just a single solitary carrot. Jack says, I quite enjoyed the Liverpool Street station until I realised I got on the wrong train and ended up at Moorgate instead of Marble Arch, as you do. Try the the district and circle line and the metropolitan line. Go up that neck of the woods and then get really lost. You'll enjoy that. And of course, there's the Northern Line loop, which is fun. Hey, Gary says, talking to Peter Hamill, saw VDGG of in Town Hall last night. Excellent concert. That's nice. That's nice. That's nice, dear. I think they're playing the Palladium this week, aren't they? It's like, Simon says, greatest prog showman. Ian Anderson is good, but no one beats Peter Gabriel or Phil Collins. Let's give Phil some love, because boy, did he really go for it, didn't he? He really went for it when he had to do that job. He didn't want to do it. He's a drummer, but he really went for it. McKenna says, the last 3 million albums could have been excellent if they hadn't been so bloated. I feel the new one would be much the same. Exactly. I don't know. I mean, I always thought they should have a nice, long rest. Maybe take 5 years off, and then come back. But I get this, a cycle. I mean, when I mean 5 years off, I mean no touring. Just have a long break where they don't do anything, and then come back and see what comes up. I think because they spend an awful lot of time, with each other, playing, recording, touring. I think they should have a little rest, see what happens. But who knows? It might be brilliant. I just don't fancy buying it, because you buy it and then you end up selling it. Yeah, I don't know. I could always get the CD, I suppose, couldn't I? Could always get the CD. How much is the CD? Let's go to Amazon. Everyone's favourite shop is Amazon, I believe. William. This time next year, Wadney, we'll be millionaires. $16.99 for a CD? Are you crazy? What does that do? Has it got anything special about it? Oh God, some of those songs have got sub clauses in them. Oh God, that means it's going to be long. There are 4 different formats. Will I never? Oh, you got the CD and DVD. Well, I might as well get that, because that's just 20 quid, isn't it? But that's not out. That's not out yet. It's out. No, so they got the rainbow. Got the rainbow on the cover as well. I managed to get the rainbow in. But it looks like a rainbow bumhole, doesn't it? That cover. God, dear. I'll tell you, album artwork ain't what it used to be. A rainbow bumhole. That's probably what they're just disappearing. That's what the album should have been called, Rainbow Bumhole. And they could disappear up it. Wow. Jay says, belated happy birthday. I'm diabetic, but I always have a slice of cake now and again. I cheat and up my insulin by a couple of units when I do. Well, I lied. I didn't have a carrot. I had some Black Forest Gatto. I had a slice of Black Forest Gatto because I'm from the 1970s, and I demanded something that reminds me of just how fucking old I am. So Black Forest Gatto it was. It was all right. They don't make them like they used to. You can't get the Sara Lee ones. I think it was the Sara Lee ones was the best. Just the Sainsbury's one. It was a bit lacking. But but like I said, I'm only type 2 diabetic. I can veer off, but I don't. I'm trying to be healthy. I had some Toblerone because the kids bought me a bar of Toblerone with Best Dad on it. I had to eat it because it had Best Dad on it. I didn't eat all of it. I just had a couple of bits. I like Toblerone. I really like Toblerone. It's one of the chocolate bars anything because it's got the almonds in it. So Toblerone, that's where it's at. Yeah. Renee says, bought a box from the Water Boys. Magnificent Seven, it's called. Great Tracks coffee table style book. He's very great. Heard of the box? No, I'm not a fan. Is it the Water Boys that did Whole of the Moon? I fucking hate that song, and I hate them. What's on my t-shirt? I think you'll like it. There you go. A £5. Not bad, that. I've got a couple of other tarot-inspired shirts as well, so thought it's better than wearing a bloody, I don't know, Jethro Tull shirt or something, isn't it, right? I've won us in. This is evening. Happy to be in peaceful Europe, for now at least. Well, it depends where you're living. Indeed, the one with too many pains. Very strange. Very, very strange. But, yeah, I don't know what we can do about that. Well, look, it's fine. Putin will be fine. He won't do anything stupid, will he? He won't start a war, a nuclear war, will he? He did come across a bit deranged in that press conference that he did the other night. It was last night. It's a bit. Didn't like it. Didn't like it. But, you know, what can you do? He is a dictator, after all. I mean, he's been in the job since the late 90s, isn't he? George says, at least we can guarantee it'll be a better album than Fugazi. Yeah. Good point. Jay says, good man. If you can't enjoy a treat on your birthday, when can you? Well, exactly. But don't go crazy. Yeah. Cheetah says, I watched some of your video unboxing Quadrophenia Director's Cut. It made me laugh when you're talking about Pete Townsend. Well, he's convicted predator, isn't he? When The Who, I don't know if they still do it, but around that time, when The Who used to tour America, they used to put up warning signs saying, you know, convicted predator in your with his picture, because that's what they do in America. Don't get me wrong, it was Townsend's one of my heroes, obviously, and what he did was reprehensible. It was just a complete. So I have to mock it, you know, because he shouldn't have done that. He shouldn't have done it at all. And anyone who defends him, you're being stupid. If you want to research that stuff, there are organisations you can approach. Crikey, there's even the police who'll take you around their forensic department and show you the kind of material and what goes on. You know, obviously censored versions of the material. You know, to actually do what he did just makes it look like he's being a massive kiddie fiddler. And there's no way of defending him against it. You know, he's a smart man. This is it. If he was stupid, if he was someone who's stupid, I could probably go, oh, he made a mistake. But Townsend's too clever. That's the problem. He's a smart bloke. And that really broke my heart, that did. What he did. Really broke my heart. Jack says, you can always get some crystals and become a TikTok tarot reader that tells people their partners are cheating on them after they've pulled the Two of Cups and Ace of Wands. Well, I've got my tarot set up there if you want. I do read the tarot. Don't knock it. You know? Don't knock it, man. I haven't read tarot in years, though. It's been about, oh, crikey, 25 years since I read the tarot. So, did it for a bit. Then you grow out of it, you know? Kitten Kier says, how's 51 treating you? Oh, it's just been a day in. You know? A day in. Another day. Like I said, this is it. Not long left. Not long left. It's a funny old business getting older, isn't it? They don't warn you that everything's going to start falling off and not working. But there you go. 37. Come on, guys. Must be some questions. Must be something you want to talk about. Walsh says, was Townsend properly convicted? I remember seeing the documentary of the whole incident. He was given a lot of special treatment. He accepted a caution, which meant that he accepted his guilt, right? Because if he didn't accept the caution, he could have gone to court and fought it in a court of law. But he accepted a police caution, which is basically saying, I did it, I won't do it again. And that's why when the Who, at that time, when the Who travelled the US, they had the Predator, in your area, posters going up, because Pete Townsend was, in the eyes of the law, someone who did a very naughty thing. And I think wasn't he on the offenders register as well? It's been a long time since I've thought about it. Let's have a look. Yeah, he was on the sex offenders register for 5 years following his admission that he accessed child pornography on the internet. So yeah, he was, in the eyes of the law, seen as guilty and got registered for 5 years. So there you go. And it's a real shame. She says, your guitars are breeding. Yeah, they are. It's terrible, isn't it? Shane Dalton says, I'll send the Internet Archive link. Of what? What are we talking about? If you're talking about my stuff on Internet Archive, I've already found it, Shane. I already found it the other day. There's nothing I can do about it. And it goes back to when I used to use a service called Jamendo to put my music on the net. I can hear the sound of the quad bike coming. So yeah, Jamendo automatically uploaded my stuff onto the Internet Archive without my permission, which makes me feel a lot better for not using them anymore, because I didn't sign up for that. G-Man said, did the Townsend book about child sex abuse that he claimed was researching ever come out? I don't know. I think he was doing it didn't he write a biography or something? It was part of that. It's all murky. But yeah, he was on the sex offenders register from 2003 to 2008. So daft. I know if you really, the Townsend defence now is I was only doing research officer. So if you get pulled in, say, I was doing the Townsend, it was a Townsend defence. I love it because Ultimate Classic Rock says, they've got a headline here saying, 10 years ago, Pete Townsend cleared on child porn charges. No, he wasn't. He wasn't cleared. He accepted a caution and dodged a bullet because who was it said? Jack said he got special treatment. He did, because anyone else would have ended up in court in front of the beak. But I think there were a couple of Who fans there, So he wasn't cleared of anything. He accepted his guilt and he got a caution. He just didn't go to court. Normally, anyone else would have been up before the beak. Special treatment, So, yeah. I don't know. Silly man. Alex says, who would you like to be running the country at this time? Caligula. Doesn't make any difference. It makes no difference whatsoever. Haven't you figured it out yet? Haven't you figured it out? It doesn't matter who you vote for. You still get the same shit every day. Nothing changes. Yes, so Gary Brooker died, didn't he, from Procol Harum? And so did, oh, wait a minute, Mark Lanigan from Screaming Trees and Queens of the Stone Age. He died. I know he was ill, wasn't he? COVID. He wrote a book about it. And yeah, he died today as well. Jack says, how do you commemorate the bad slipcase disaster of 08? Or is it experience painful to remember? It was just, I don't like to talk about it. You could never get the CDs in and out. The slipcase was just slightly too snug. I mean, that's the quality control. It's come to expect. It's just too snug. Too snug. Alex says, it's shocking to think how many were in the 70s. Jimmy Page. Yeah, well, we know Jimmy Page is a famous one. Loads of rock stars were doing it. Bowie, everyone was stumping their groupies and not asking. Didn't bother back then. It was all part of the experience, I suppose. We look at the world through 21st century eyes. So, it's the way it goes. It's just the uncool ones who get pulled in and prosecuted. Your Gary Glitters and your Ulf Harrises of this world. Oh, dear. Jack says, early 2000s were not a good time for the Who. Yeah, I suppose was it Entwistle died? When did Entwistle die? Was it about 2003, was it? Seems like such a long time ago now. Such a long time ago. 2002, I was a year out. So, yeah. Payne says, how have the people next door been? The neighbours from Hell Stories? I don't know, Robert. I couldn't possibly tell. If that's really you. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Grant says, hey Dan, if a wooden acoustic guitar has a crack in it and has fret buzz and has been repaired before, is it a write-off? Well, there's a lot of questions there. One, where's the crack? And where's the fret buzz originating from? What fret is it on? Yeah, if you give me a bit more information, I'll try and answer. Again, if the crack's at the back of it, in the back right. This is important, right? If the crack is there, not so much of a problem. If it's in this area, problem, because then this could off, because this area, that area is the most important area of the guitar, because all the pressure is on here. So if there's any structural weaknesses here, then you're going to have a problem, because these are usually like glued on. Some are braced on, but all the pressure and weight is being pulled in that direction. So yeah, if you've got a crack in this area, no go. In the back, not so much of a problem, because again, you can hide it. Around here, it could be a problem because it could all fall off, but you could probably glue that back together. And as for fret buzz, it all depends whereabouts it is it's happening on the neck. If it's I don't know. It's tricky because depending on the guitar, not all of them have. I don't know. It depends on how expensive the guitar is. If it's a cheap guitar, you might not have a truss rod. I mean, if you can loosen the truss rod and the fret buzz goes, then you might be onto a win. Or even if you tighten it and it goes, you might be able to do it. It could be that you need to raise the nut slightly. Put a splint under the nut, perhaps. There's lots of different ways of approaching it, or even put a splint under the bridge to raise that. But I'd have to actually see the instrument. It's hard to do the thing. Munton's in. He says, "Hey, I won't be able to stay for you tonight. Just pop by to say hello. Hello. And I hope you had a good birthday yesterday." Well, it was a birthday. Grant says, between the 8th and the 10th frets, crack is near the saddle. Right, so the crack's up this end, yeah, near the bridge, yeah. Not good. Leave well alone. All right. If it's near the bridge, don't touch it. It's probably firewood, because you're going to need to, glue it, brace it from the inside, perhaps. Acoustic guitars are, again, because they're relatively cheap, unless it's like an old Martin or something like that. A lot of old acoustics, you're better off just, like I say, buying a new one, because of then it probably wasn't built to last. So it could be expensive, unless it's a hobby thing, unless it's something you want to try and repair. But you probably need to brace it from the inside, and that takes a whole set of skills and clamps. It's like oi oi oi, But if it's in that area of the bridge, that's probably, like I say, a structural weakness. It's going to get worse, and ping, it's all going to go a bit crazy bonkers. Munton says, "I just had lots of homework tonight. I wanted to let you know I'm still alive. Off to dinner now." Well, I'm glad you're still alive. We had a fantastical incident where somebody was impersonating Robert Payne. We had an impersonator, a fake Robert Payne. What's that all about, eh? That was weird. Grant says, "I was reading Led Zeppelin biography. I've not had the young groupies being abused allegedly." Well, Oh, okay. Bye. G-Man says, Willie Nelson's guitar has a big hole right beside the saddle. I think that's a sound hole, isn't it? I think that's meant to be there. Lance Dory says, "Any films, old or new, you can recommend lately, Darren?" That's a very good question. I watched Pig at the weekend, starring the great Nick Cage. It's about a man and his pig, but it's not. It's not. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's 90 minutes long. It's just a beautiful film. It's really good, and I really enjoyed it. And when Nick Cage gets a role to, acting rather than act over the top in, he's a really good actor. And trying to think what else I've watched lately. I watched Wonder at the weekend. It's a kids' film. I really enjoyed that as well. Got a little bit teary. I just finished my dinner. And I thought, I'm just going to sit and watch this kids film on Channel. I think it was on Channel 4. Loved every minute of it. Oh dear. Grant says, "When the Giants Walk the Earth" by Led Zeppelin. Is that the biography? Wasn't there one called Hammer of the Gods as well? I'm sure there was a biography from years back called that. But yeah, I'm trying to think what other films we watched. Was it Odd Thomas? That was on the horror channel. Was it on Netflix? Or was it on Amazon? That was all right. It was a bit like Dead Like Me. But unfortunately, what's his name? He died, didn't he? So they couldn't make a sequel to it. Censor, that was good. That was a horror film. A bit weird. In the Earth, that was a Ben Wheatley horror film. It was The Wicker Man. Redone. The Wicker Man on mushrooms. Spoilers. It was all right. It was all right. I enjoyed it. But it was that one was filmed in lockdown, so it was done really quite well considering that it was done in lockdown. And they used the idea of a pandemic, an ongoing pandemic, as part of the story, which I thought was pretty cool. Oh, and it's got a touch of 2001 in it as well towards the end. It's full of stars. Grant says, Nick Cage is getting better as he gets older. Well, again, he can crazy out as well. There's a good horror film, Colour of Magic, that he did, which is based on a HP Lovecraft story. Again, it's very hard to do HP Lovecraft. Directed by Richard, what's his name, who did The Island of Dr. Moreau, Dust Devil, and Hardware. And Marillion's Brave movie. Richard, I always forget his name. Richard something. Oh, God, it escapes me. But yeah, doing H.P. Lovecraft adaptations is always a bit weird, always a bit hard to pull off. And I'm a bit of a Lovecraftian fan. Even though he's a terrible racist and anti-Semite, because cancel culture. Got to remember, this guy was writing at the turn of the 20th century. Yeah, got to remember. They always bring up their failings, don't they? I heard that William Shakespeare once kicked a cat. Cancel him, etc. Alex Johnson says, Hammer of the Gods is the one I read. Yeah, that one. I think I read it many years ago. Like in the school library sort of thing. It wasn't that old, was it? Let me pull it up. Led Zeppelin, Hammer of the Gods book. When was it out? 1985, yeah. I think I read that in the school library. What a great library we had. Oh, God, I'm so fucking old. Oh, dear. Andrew says, Bohemian Rhapsody was on. I've seen it, and I have it on DVD. Yeah, it was on Channel 4 as well, but I didn't watch it because it wasn't in surround sound. It wasn't in surround sound on Channel 4. That was dumb, wasn't it? You've got to have it in surround sound, man. Grant says, I think I should have used a humidifier to protect the wooden frame in Canada. There are brutal windows. Well, that's the thing, Grant. With acoustics, you didn't mention that. You do need to keep them humidified. I'm all right because this is the UK and we live in a fairly temperate climate. So I don't need to worry about my guitars drying out and cracking. Mind you, I've only got 3 acoustics. That's right, isn't it? 3 acoustics? That sounds about right. And all of them, they're not expensive. You know, they're all about 200 quid, second hand. You know, I bought them second hand, so they didn't cost me a lot. I didn't buy them. They're more expensive. I mean, this one I got last. Actually, this one I bought. This one was last year's birthday present, but Verity managed to put a dent in it. She put a dent in it. Verity did that with her charging cable for her switch. She let it slam against the body. I had it over the other side. I had it propped up, and she went. It's like, that's great. And there's some superficial damages. I've got to be careful. It's a nice sound to it. Very has trouble sleeping, and I'll get told off in the morning if I make too much noise. So, shh, got to be very quiet. That's why we're doing it. Very quiet. Oh dear. Oof. Anyway, where are we? John McCrae says Nick Cage was good when he was young and Birdie. Yeah, great film. Great PG soundtrack. Good film. Yeah, it's also, that's the soundtrack that marked Daniel Lanoir's introduction to Peter Gabriel and his production time with him. It's an interesting soundtrack album because it was really Gabriel just going through the vault and and seeing what he can, what he can do. So, yeah. Good one, that. Oh, right, where are we? Lance's, nice, I'll take a look at them. Sensory's excellent. Glad you watched that. Love psychological thrillers, Hitchcock, Polanski sort of stuff. You can't mention Polanski these days. Yeah, I mean, he's all right. I think there are some bits in Censor that I needed to tweak to make it more ambiguous. No, was it too ambiguous, or was it ambiguous enough? I can't remember. I watched it a while back now. There was something that wasn't quite, didn't ring quite right. Also, check out Saint Maud as well. Saint Maud and Censor, I think, would make a good double bill. So yeah, that would be good. Check that one out. Grant says Dunwich Horror is a good HP story. Yeah, yeah. There's the other one that I like. Oh God, that one that I like. Oh God, I can never remember the title of these things because I'm old and stupid. Lovecraft finds Dagon. That's the one I really like. Dagon's a good one. It was published in 1919 as well. It's a good one, that. It's a short one. Lance says, can I recommend a film called The Vanishing from 1988? Seen it. Sorry, Lance. Stan Croup said The Shining was child's play in comparison. It's a good film. I remember watching it on TV back in the day, and they remade it, I believe, and it wasn't as good. It never is, because it's isn't it a Dutch film, and they remade it for the American market. Yeah. Russell's in. He says, good evening. Jack says, I think you have the same birthday as Kurt Cobain. Oh, blimey. Whose birthday is on 21st February? Obviously, I should be at the top of the list. Of course, Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones. Yeah? Yeah? Just me then, just then. Alan Rickman. Who else have we got that I vaguely know? I don't know any of these. Oh, God, Malcolm McIntyre. Oh, strike me dead. Oh, fuck off. Fuck you. What is this? That's just not right. Is it? That's just not right. Oh, Kelsey Grammer. There you go. Kamai Najani. I know him as well from Silicon Valley. Justin Roiland. Know him from Rick and Morty. There's also Peterson. William Peterson, who's in Manhunter. Dun 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 dun. And I gotta hear, honey, don't you know that I love you? And I gotta hear, honey. Also, Robert Mugabe, who I was once compared to by a member of that band. And I wear that like a badge of honour. Like a badge of honour. Like a badge of honour. So let's see. I'm having a look at this page here. There's no one here. Charlotte Church. She was on The Masked Singer the other day. That's cool. Who else is there? Jordan Peele. I know him. He did the reboot of Twilight Zone. It was a bit. It was all right. Yeah, it was all right. But they've put him forward as this like new doyen of horror, and it's all right. It's all right. James Dean Bradfield from Manic Street Preachers. A design for a life. If you tolerate this, then your children will be next. Yeah. Do them all, you know. I do them all. Wendy James. Oh, fucking love some. Oh, I can't say that because the missus will come and slap me around the head. Because the missus still says to me this very day, Wendy James, your girlfriend, you love Wendy James. Or because back in 1988 I said, God, Wendy James, she's really good. I think Transvision Vamp are the future of modern pop rock, and I've never been able to live it down since. Never. No, she won't let me forget. Rankin Roger, man. Rankin Roger from The Beat. Excellent. Chuck Palahniuk, he wrote Fight Club. Think about his birthday. He's not allowed to talk about his birthday. Vanessa Feltz. Nobody knows who that is. Steve Neve from Elvis Costello's band. Yeah. Anyone else? William L. Peterson from Manhunter. I've already done him. Jean-Jacques Brunel from the Stranglers. I saw him at Waterloo Station. I was with the missus. I went, it's Jean-Jacques Brunel from... But, yeah, Jean-Jacques Brunel from the Stranglers. She didn't know what I was talking about. I was excited. Jerry Harrison from Talking Heads. Anthony Daniels from... He's the guy that invented the robot, I believe. Tyne Daly from Cagney and Lacey. No, Anthony Daniels was C-3PO in Star Wars. You knew that. Who else is there? David Geffen, who invented the Geffen. Who else? There's got to be some more. Got to be some other... Oh, Gary Lockwood from 2001. A Space Odyssey, the film. This is good. I'm liking this. Rue McClanahan from Golden Girls. I'm enjoying this now. Now you've started me off. Leon Black. He was an American college basketball coach, but I know Leon Black from Curb Your Enthusiasm. He's Leon. Yeah. He's played by J.B. Smoove. Isn't it? Sam Peckinpah. I'm just saying names now. Nobody knows who Sam Peckinpah is. He was a great director back in the day, famous for his gore. Eddie Waring used to report on the rugby. Oh, who remembers it? No, just me then. Anais Nin, the writer, wrote Delta of Venus. Andrei Segovia, Spanish classical guitarist. He died in 1987. See? He's the other guitarist. He's the second greatest guitarist born on the 21st of February. Only to me. Just going back in time. This is a good list. I'm really enjoying this list. You work out some stuff. You spam the comments. And of course, Louis IX, Duke of Bayonne, was also born on this day. Well, on the 21st of February on 1417. There you go. And now we know. That was that question answered. Where are we? Pegasus says, will I watch the new Jackass film? If it's on the telly, going for it. I don't know if I've ever watched them, to be honest. I don't know if I've ever. I watched the Dirty Sanchez film. Who remembers Dirty Sanchez? I do. Pegasus says, gotta love Iron Butterfly, exactly. Rene says, what do you think about the 3 Placebo songs which appear on the new album? Oh, fuck off. Placebo, now there's a blast from the past. I haven't heard them, and I like my Placebo, Nancy Boy and all that stuff from the, and all those ones. Who remembers them? Do you remember them? I remember them. I guess I'll have to check it out. Andrew says the one where Darren sang Iron Butterfly. Jack says, I have the same birthday as Kendall Jenner, Ian Wright, Stephen Wilson, and one of the guitarists from Slipknot. Good for you. Pegasus says, can we have some more Iron Butterfly singing? No. Jack says, it says you have the same birthday as Mark Kelly. Not that Mark Kelly. Grant says, you seem to be very calm lately. Me? No. I'm a seething ball of rage. I'm always calm. This is my natural state when I'm doing the other things, when I'm putting on an act. And I can't be too noisy because my daughter complains about the noise. So I can't act up unless it's the school holidays. But I didn't even do that last Tuesday. It was school holidays last Tuesday because, I don't want to keep my daughter awake because she suffers with the same insomnia that I've got. So I want to get her into a nice pattern of being able to relax. I don't want her to worry about the noise. And so this is why the bird is singing. The bird is singing. We have birds living around here that come out at this time of night. It's near enough every midnight. It's most bizarre. It's most discombobulating. No, the other night when I took Hannah for a walk, I could hear the bird up in the trees. In its darkness, I can hear this bird going tweet, 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 tweet. It's got a lovely song, and I wish I could identify it. So that's why I'm a little bit more relaxed. We're doing the midnight hour on Bollocks FM, and I want to know: have you ever found a crisp that looks like a person? If you have, please call in and tell me what crisp it was. How do you get on with your mother-in-law? See, these are some of the great topics we're going to be discussing tonight. And finally, what's the weather been like in your neck of the woods? Remember, call the usual number, and we got someone on the switchboard ready to take your call. And now, ABBA and the name of the game. But I'm very calm. It says, I'm reading a lot lately. Led Zeppelin, almost done that. Then Bill Bruford, reserved at the library. Hopefully that will really put me in the relaxed zone. Well, I'm relaxed all the time. I'm, like I said, constantly chill. My heart rate is in the 60s. It's about 62, my average heart rate. So I am Mr. Chill. You know, totally relaxed. Nothing phases me out. Jay says, I've seen Placebo live a couple of times in the late 90s. Pretty tight live band. Yeah, they were good back in the day. They were an interesting bunch, but a little bit derivative in places. I had a lot of time for them because, I remember seeing them on a lot of music shows, like say live, doing the live thing, and I enjoyed the energy of it. Brian Maltz? Does that sound right? I've probably mangled his name. Let me pull it up. Placebo. There was another band called Placebo. Wasn't there an argument about their name? Placebo. No, that's the I've got his name wrong. Brian Molko. I was in the right area. Brian something. But yeah, I remember them. Didn't they do a thing with Bowie as well? Or did I remember that wrong? Sounds about right. Oh, the new album's called Never Let Me Go. Okay. And that's out on the 25th of March. Well, I didn't know that they had another album out. I shall have to have a look. But it's not as good as the new Oliver Tree album, which was out on Friday. And I keep saying I'm going to review it for the channel because everyone's going to love some Oliver Tree, because I love Oliver Tree. I do. Grant says, thank you for the guitar advice, very helpful. Well, it's difficult with acoustics. I mean, sometimes you can fix them. Again, it all depends on the instrument. If it has great sentimental value to you and you want it, or material value to you, then it might be worth it. But if it isn't, if it's just a cheap guitar, you might be better off just putting it out of its misery. It's tricky, and it's not like electric guitars where you can hack away at things and replace a neck, or I mean, I fixed I've got to get it off the thing. This one, God, weighs a bloody ton. This is my Pine. This was another cheap guitar, and the nut needed replacing. See, I replaced the nut on was it Sunday, because this had a very buzzy G string. You don't want a buzzy G string, and the nut slots were cut really deep, and everything was just buzzing and being horrible. But I gave it a nice clean. Oh, this was a bargain. I got this so cheap. You would never believe how cheap I got it. And this was made in China. This is a Chinese Fender. And whatever you say, they're bloody good. It is solid. It's got a lovely sound to it. Trust me, it has a good sound to it. But yeah, the nut was, and I think that's why I got it cheap, because there was a problem with the nut. So yeah, so I fixed the nut. Tenner, just a tenner for a new nut. The hard part was doing that. Lots of sandpapering just to get it the right height, and it's probably still a little bit high. But again, you don't want to take too much off because you can't put it back on again. So I've just left it a little bit. It doesn't bother me, It doesn't. I'm not going to cry over it, But sometimes it's you don't want to. I don't want to get it because there's no real. You can't really measure it. You kind of do it by eye, and you can certain measurements you can do. But again, if there's the next little bit, yeah. So I've left it a little bit, just a little bit high. Bit will live. Where are we? Fasano says, somebody told me to check out the show Peep Show. Are you a fan? Yeah, it was good at the beginning. It runs out of steam towards the end. They don't really know what to do with the characters, but the novelty, the way it's shot, because it's shot through each character's eyes, and they actually wore cameras on their heads. Before, we had those little mini cameras, so they had to wear a frame around them to get that point of view. Have a bit of fluff. It was a feather to get the point of view shots. There's some good characters in it. It is genuinely a funny show. And I think the guy that wrote it went off to do that show with Brian Cox, who was in Manhunter. Everything's connected. Dun, 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 dun. Succession. The guy who worked on Peep Show went on to create Succession with Brian Cox, who starred in Manhunter, who starred opposite William Peterson, who shares my birthday. We're all connected. Everything's connected, man. Everything's connected. But yeah, Jack says, thoughts on The Prodigy? Oh, I love me some. I'll have to smack my bitch up. Smack my bitch up. Maybe that was so controversial, that video. No, I like it. I like them. I didn't like their early period when it was doing, Charlie and all that stuff. It was a bit, But I like their Fat of the Land album. I thought that was the culmination. It was such a good record. Such a good record. But poor old Keith. I was very upset when Keith killed himself. Very, very upset. A good bloke. John McCrae says, favourite soundtracks, prog or otherwise? Favourite soundtracks. Trainspotting. I got a lust for life. I got a lust for life. Cosmos with Carl Sagan. That's a good soundtrack. I don't know how I managed to get a copy of that. I think it was in the job lot of albums I bought. And there it was. Because Cosmos is one of my favourite TV shows of all time. And it's like, excellent. I don't need all those Vangelis albums now because I can just listen to this. Excellent. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Very good. But who likes mine? Look, I fixed the CD shelves. Look. Featured artist is there. Yeah, featured artist. And that band is there and down there somewhere. From about there to about there. Stops it looking patchy. No one noticed it. No one mentioned it. Russell says, what's the most disturbing Disney film? Easy, Dumbo. Everyone knows that. Andrew says, I really love John Barry's soundtrack. Did you do Get Carter? Down, 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 down. Human League did a copy of that on their Dare album. It's there. No, that's Gorillaz with Shaun Ryder. Do I like Marmite? It's all right, Russell. Bit of an odd question. If you're the real Russell Watkins, I'm getting to feel that there's an awful lot of impersonators in tonight because some of the questions are a little bit weird. I have a funny feeling that I'm being spoofed. But carry on. It's your time you're wasting. I don't care. Oh dear, 241 playbacks. Oh wow. That definitely tells me there's something going on because multiple accounts logging on. I got you. Your card's marked. Oh dear. James Bond. Who did Get Carter then? Oops. Roy Budd. Oh, God, that's the one. That's it. Wrong fella. Not to be confused with Roy Hudd or Harold Budd. Oh, drop my favourite pick on the floor. It's my favourite pick. James Bond. Oh, you only live twice. I don't know any of the other ones. We have all the time in the world. I love that one. It's my favourite. Who can also forget? It's a view to a kill. Bang, bang, bang. That one. I love that one as well. Inkelstein says, do you watch the video of Toya and the feature nights covering Bullet with Butterfly Wings? No, I don't watch any of their stuff because only sad, practic old men watch that stuff and beat one out to the sight of Toya's fixed orbs. She paid a lot of money for them, so you might as well enjoy them. All that YouTube revenue is paying for them titties. They're not her titties. Go and watch Derek Jarman's Tempest. Do you see her titties then? Them ain't the same titties, I tell you. I watched that film not because Toya gets them out. I watched that film because I'm a big fan of Derek Jarman, all right? That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. But I've seen all these fucking movies, all right? Even the one with all the man loving, all right? So there you go. Derek Jarman, gone too soon. Great filmmaker. Great filmmaker. Oh, I'm depressed now. But no, I don't watch any of this stuff because it's all a bit sad, isn't it, really? It's all a bit sad. It's great that they've found their new audience and great, but, Toya doesn't need to do that. She's an artist of her own right, and I find it just a bit degrading, that's all. It's a bit degrading, but as a feminist ally, she's allowed to do what she wants with her body, blah, 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 do. But she's a very talented lady and she doesn't need to do that. That's just my opinion, But at least you can tell in that family who's got the talent. It ain't the fucker with the guitar because he can't fucking play. At least when I do cover versions, at least I can fucking play them. I know the chords. That's why they have a backup guitarist, because Grandpa can't play. He can't. That boy can't play. Oh man. But then it makes it look like I'm just being sour. I'm not. He does what he does. Goldfinger. Russell says, Pinocchio's pretty scary with the kids turning to donkeys. No, you're right. Pinocchio's too, but mine with Dumbo is the old Pink Elephants bit on Parade, and as a kid, it freaked me out more so than the kids turning into donkeys. But no, Pink Elephants. I think it's because Dumbo's so innocent, and because you are Dumbo, aren't you? Not literally, but you're kind of with him because he's an innocent. And you're watching it as a little kid, and you're kind of Dumbo, and Pink Elephants on Parade. Some really good imagery in it though. It's like an acid. I'm sure they must have dropped acid when they did that. Favourite 1970s advert? Crikey, there's too many of them. Too many of them, Russell. Too many. Inkelstein says, honestly, I felt uncomfortable about that vid. Well, I haven't watched it. You're on your own. You're on your own. She says Toya hasn't got the same face either. No, she hasn't. She's had a lot of work done. But again, that's her prerogative. And if that's what she wants to do, that's her prerogative. I like the idea of aging gracefully and just getting old. And it's a shame that people have to resort to that. I think it can lead to some sort of body dysmorphia. You see things that aren't there, and I think it's good. I think, again, of course, I think plastic surgery is great for people that really need it. There are people who've been in accidents and but birth defects. I think it's great, but I think a lot of these people, they don't. Toya didn't need it. She didn't need it. But I guess she might have needed it because again, she's a professional. She goes on tour. You know, it's like if you're a car driver, you know, a motor driver, you make sure your engine's clean. I suppose. You know, if you're a guitarist, you make sure your nut is on properly. Yeah. Too many guitars. Or maybe I haven't got enough guitars. I haven't decided yet. Lenin's in. Hey there. Hope you're all right. Hope you, because we have people go missing and Garrett gets worried. But I hope you're all right. Smiley says, what's been on my mind? Nothing. Just the kids come back to school and worry about Herb, you know, getting on okay. But other than that, I've been pretty clear. I've been pretty busy. I was doing some guitar stuff and some internet, well, not internet, website maintenance things, you know, which was nice to, you know, well, it wasn't nice. It was kind of a drag because I hate doing that kind of thing. But it was nice to kind of get back into the saddle of it. You know, other than that, not a lot's been on my mind. I have a pretty empty mind. I listened to some Red Hot Chili Peppers this morning. That was fun. Listened to the I'm With You album, which I got on vinyl, which was, it's all right. It's all right. It's not as good as The Getaway, but it's all right. Don't you know? Lenin says, did you hear about that new doc from that band? Yeah, we talked about it the other week, Lenin. You should have been here. Because what was it? Well, maybe it was a couple of weeks back. I don't know, time flies. Because they put out the trailer, didn't they? And I was joking because I said, you know, that, remember when I said that documentary will never see the light of day? Do you remember that? And it didn't. That documentary didn't. You ain't seeing that documentary. You're seeing a new documentary, which again has been delayed since, well, I don't know when we're getting it, but wouldn't it be three years late? Because it was meant to be out for the anniversary in 2019, but it was late. So, you know, again, I'll probably just watch it out. If I can watch it for free, I don't want to pay for it. If anyone wants to bootleg it or send me the DVD or Blu-ray, make it a Blu-ray. Then I might cast my eyes over it, but it'd be just out of morbid curiosity more than anything else, because, you know, it's going to be very, very, you know. Favourite song after that? Oh, God, that's so hard. I've got a couple of favourites. I've got a couple of. It's too hard to. You can't make me choose. You can't make me choose. I'm not going to choose. I can't choose. My least favourite is Lily White Lilith. There you go. That's my least favourite. I always skip that one. Can't stand that one. But I like them all. I think it's just such a good album. But my absolute favourite is probably Back in New York City. Possibly. I don't know. That one or the other one. Russell likes Smash Get Smash advert. Crikey. Again, there are so many 70s. My shoulder. Let me just. I know if I say this one. Right, I'm going to go for the High Karate advert. Right, because Valerie Leon was in it. And on Friday, she made the news because she was in the storm and nearly got hit by a tree or something. And she's still going strong. You know, Valerie Leon. She's about 79 now. But yeah, Valerie Leon was a lot of things back in the day, wasn't she? She was in Carry On films and horror films, you know, Hammer Horrors. But yeah, it was funny to see her in the paper. Well, not in the paper, on the Daily Mail website. I think, oh. And so you saying that made me think of Valerie Leon and the High Karate advert for aftershave. There was a number of them. Lance says, who would you say is your preferred film director? Was Kubrick or Ken Russell? They're my favourite. They're my favourite kind of directors. But yeah, those guys. Both of them are dead. Oh dear. Oh no. But those two are the ones that jump out at me. I think Ken Russell was very underrated. And Renee's off. See ya. Have a lovely night time. Jack says, the featured artist's reinvention of himself isn't very convincing when you hear the stories of those who worked with him down through the years. Well, he's an unpleasant person, and he knows that, and he's acknowledged it, So, he got lucky. He won the lottery, and he should acknowledge that. And now that, Ian McDonald's gone and Greg Lake's gone, and those two are really, they're the guys that really shaped that first record, Of course, you've got Sinfield's lyrics. He's still, I always forget that he's still around, because on my Deadpool for that band, Sinfield years ago, he was my lead. He was my he was my first one to pop, But he's hanging on. He's let me down. That boy's let me down. I'm not allowed to make that joke because Jack shit's probably seething. He is just like Robert Mugabe. But it's just he got lucky. But it just shows you that with very little talent you can go a long way. And that gives us hope for everyone. You just got to surround yourself with talented people and hope that they can drag you through. That's what you do. Mark Grissom says, hi. If I was like John Lennon, Maris Barrett and other writers that were taken early, were still with us, would they have got on to do better things? Better things. Well, that's the question, isn't it? Would you ask yourself, would they have gone on to do more things? Lenny says, Bruford's going to be in it. He is. And so is Ian McDonald. So is Adrian Ballou. Didn't see Trey Gunn. Did anyone see Trey Gunn in it? No? Didn't get Boz Burrell, did they? Didn't get Boz Burrell in it. Or Gordon. Is Gordon Haskell in it? No. But yeah, I mean, it will scratch us. Certain people find it great. It will scratch that itch for those people. But I don't know. Who cares? Does anyone really care? It's not like they're the fucking Beatles or anything, is it? Not like they revolutionised anything. It's not like that they inspired a generation to make music, is it? Fuck me, they inspired a generation to stop making music, I'd imagine. Jack says, in the next video, Toya should rattle off the details of the Lizard recording session. Yeah, painted completely green. Nude, of course. Lenin says, one of my favourite drummers, Michael Giles. Yeah, Giles is he's a great drummer. Smiley says, good to hear. I love your ambient work. Oh, glad somebody likes it. The old background music in your old prog reviews. Yeah. Any unreleased stuff that might appear on a future album? Well, ambient, yeah, I've got about 2-3 albums worth. You shouldn't have asked, should you? I've got loads of the stuff. I don't put it out. Lance says, I watched the Tarantino film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, I've seen that, yeah. I only watched it for the Manson family narrative. Wasn't really impressed by impressed to be truthful. I liked it. I thought even though it was a long film, it went really speedily along. I enjoyed it. It was a homage to that time. And like Inglourious Bastards, it rewrites things. It puts right or wrong. And you've kind of got to be with Tarantino for that. You've got to be along with that ride. And when they're beating up, spoilers, when they're beating up the family and knocking them, 6 shades to, Was it 6 Shades of Shinola out of them? It's I was cheering. I thought it was great. I don't like watching women getting beaten up, but I made the exception for that film because for me it was symbolic. It was to put right what went wrong, and it was a nice little bit of wishful thinking put on film, and I liked it. I thought it was a fun, interesting film. And again, I thought it was going to be really long and boring, and because it's like nearly 3 hours long, but it scooted by, and I don't like long films. I really don't. But me and the missus watched it, and it was like, and she's another one who doesn't like watching. She doesn't like long films, and she normally nods off, and she stayed awake throughout the entire film, and that's pretty good going for the missus. That's pretty good going. That is an endorsement of recommendation. Milky Bar kids are on me, said Jimmy Savile. The Milky Bars are on me, indeed. Russell says The Lair of the White Worm is a mental film. It's a good film. For Simon says, what HP Lovecraft stories would you recommend to someone who has never read any HP Lovecraft? We'll start with, like I said, I'll pull up, it's called Dagon. It's a short one by HP Lovecraft. Has it got the... here we go. You can actually read it here. Again, a lot of Lovecraft stuff's out of copyright, so you can read it for free. And Dagon it's only like a page long. Well, it's probably 2 pages, maybe 3 pages long. It's not a long story, but there's just something. It's creepy. Here we go. Go and check it out. Dagon. I really enjoy it. It's a very short one. Oh, so yes. Blimey, 292 playbacks. That is excessive. Anyway, we've come to the end. I've done an hour and a half. I think I've entertained you. It's been a bit weird. It's been a bit strange, but hey, bring it on. We'll have to have a secret handshake next time. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? And I'll see you all next time. And that's it, I'm out. Oh, wait a minute, Lance says, I think it needs to understand of the Tate Manson murders. I agree the ending is very poignant. I actually shed a tear as I've been quite invested in the whole case. Yeah, again, I know the story and everything about it. And again, it's obviously the story obviously affected Tarantino to a point where he thought, I want to fix this. I want to fix it. And so it's a very symbolic film. Obviously it's not real because it's a fantasy. It's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It is a fairy story. That's the whole point of the title. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, ... And it is a fairy story. And that's why you get this fictional version of Bruce Lee and everything. And it's all a bit, fun. And there are other people in it. I mean, crikey. Nicholas Hammond's in it. The original Spider-Man. He's in it. He plays Sam Peckinpah, I think, or a version of Sam Peckinpah. Am I remembering that right? Who I just mentioned, Sam Peckinpah. It all ties in. Yes. Excuse me, Sam Peckinpah shares my birthday. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Nicholas Hammond, Spider-Man. It's all connected. Everything's connected. But no, I mean, I like the payoff, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good, so... Yeah, anyway, we're gonna go now. Oh, wait a minute. Catherine Oxenberg, yeah, and Donahoe as well in it. Castaway with Oliver Reed. There you go. Alex likes Death Proof. I didn't. I thought that was a bit. Anyway, I'm gonna skedaddle, and hopefully we've had fun. Hopefully it hasn't been too weird, and we'll do this all again soon. Don't forget, if you can't be good, be safe. But more importantly, don't tell your mother. Tell her.